Hi everyone, David Seekman here from Agency Performance Partners and Agency Appeal. Thank you for taking the time to read through our quarterly download here and watch this video. I wanted to talk a little bit about culture. Within the assessment, I find that culture is one of the most difficult things for us to define and assess within an agency because it's not as simple as just looking at a process or a system. It really gets to the heart of who we are as an agency and who we are as individuals working in that agency. Having said that, I think it's critical that we focus on this area because it does tend to permeate throughout all of the other areas that we're focused on, not just in the assessment, but in our agency. So the effect of culture can be found in sales, in service, in all of the different areas, as well as in the process, in the systems. So we really need to focus and make sure that we have an eye on our culture and are continuously nurturing it so that we do ensure that we have a positive culture. There are a few different questions in the assessment that I think directly are pushing us to find out more information on where the culture is. And the first comes to the mission statement. So it is absolutely critical that everyone know and understand what the mission statement is and use this on a daily basis. The next one that I like is one that actually just bluntly asks, how do you like your customers? So I can usually find out a good perspective on attitude and approach when we ask about the customers, both in the online survey as well as when we're talking to people in person. Typically, if I get the eye rolls or the, oh, well, you know how they are, then I know that there's something more going on here than, an approach where we're trying to be proactive and trying to be helpful for our clients. One of the most direct questions we ask is simply, what 3 words would you use to describe your culture? And again, with this one, I can usually very early on identify if we're kind of positive. So some people do like family oriented, energetic, excited, all of these like really good, strong, positive words. And other times will be disorganized, lack of follow through, things of that nature. And those again will clearly, by asking bluntly, can clearly define the culture. A couple more are, do you feel stressed? Do the owners feel stressed? Do you feel special working? Do you feel that you're part of something special by working in that agency? That gives me a good feel for what people think, what their approach is, how they're feeling about their job. And then the last question that I like to really dive into is there a negative influence within the agency? Typically, if there is more of a negative culture going on, it can be attributed to 1, 2, 3, a group of people, whatever it is. Sometimes it's an individual, sometimes it's a department, sometimes it's just a mix of those. But typically, we can learn quickly who might have that negative effect on that culture. So again, I think that it's really critical that we are looking at our culture when we have a negative culture that permeates through all of the things we're trying to accomplish in a negative way. We need to figure out how to shift that to a positive culture. If we have a positive culture, or once we get to a positive culture, it is then critical that we're using that culture to shift our focus. So if right now we're focused on marketing and we want to focus on service, we can use that positive culture to shift that. If we have a service culture and we're trying to shift to a sales culture, we have to make sure that we're using that positive culture to affect that change. You can't shift focus with a negative culture. So negative to positive, and then use that positive culture to affect change. Thanks a lot.